Good morning. Hi. Sasini. Mkoaje? Mko poa? Enyewe, what is this Nairobi weather? Because it's so cold. Ama? Or it's just me because I just don't like the cold weather. I just love the sunny vibes. Yeah. But I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping warm. Today, it's something not very deep. I know sometimes I can get deep, but I decided to have like 5 ideas, 5 things on my mind, the current 5 things on my mind, and I thought maybe I can share with them, right? So as always, my phone is here, and yeah, so things on my mind. Number 1, never say never. Yo, let me tell you. You see, when people say never say never, it happened to me. Case in point, if you know me from way back, you know I don't like pets. Me and pets, whether it's a cat, whether it's a dog, I'm afraid of them. I just don't like anything that walks on 4s. In fact, even a chicken sometimes throws me off. Basically, maybe it's because I was not raised with pets. We did not have a cat, we did not have dogs. In fact, I don't think either of my parents had a liking of either of them, right? So I met my husband, and after that, he loves cats. Oh, he loves cats. Every time I would visit him, there would just be a cat. And my legs, I have, for dogs, maybe I don't like them, but for cats, I am afraid of cats. So he loves cats. So he used to, when I go visit him and then it sneaks up on me, I get scared. My feet are on the couch and tells me, oh, by the way, we have a cat. I'm like, you should have told me this before, you know? So that happened. And I remember we had that conversation of, you just know this. If we're doing this, a cat is not an option. We are not having a cat in the house. We're not having any. We must, it's a dog and it has to be outside. So, and it was okay, deal. So we started living together. Anyone who knows me, if you know, if I come to your home and you have a cat, I feel uneasy. I get restless. Even a pet, even a dog. I have a cousin of mine who had a dog, and I still felt off about it. So one day we went out with my 3 kids just recently, this year. We went out, we took our kids to enjoy a meal, and there were big cats. These cats were humongous, man. I don't know what they were eating, but it's because it's in an eatery, so they eat a lot, right? They eat the leftovers, the rats and all that. And I was always afraid. I kept on, I lose concentration. By the way, I lose concentration. I'm always ready to leave when I find cats around. I don't know why. I think there was something that happened when I was a kid with a cat that made me always fear cats. So I started realizing my son, my firstborn, is taking after me, being afraid, freezing. He's like, Mommy, there's a cat. He's raising his legs. Everything I do, he does. And there's something wrong. There's something so annoying seeing somebody doing some true tabias that you do, and it bugged me. So when we were just having conversations with my husband, he's like, we need to get a pet for them to embrace, a cat or a dog. And I was like, let's get a cat, a dog. You know my situation. I don't like cats. You do something. Nisipate nini squena a cat. And we were even thinking of buying ones, the ones that are always on Apo Sarit. No, is it Sarit? Yeah, around Sarit there are men who sells those little puppies. I was ready for a puppy. Oh, until fast forward, my kids said they want a cat. You. Let me tell you something. I debated about it. I even started praying, asking God to cancel them, those thoughts in their minds. Lord, take that idea. But we went to my grandparents' home, and there was a cat, and I saw how my daughter is interacting with it. And they're like, Mom, let's get us a cat, get us a cat. And you see now, I avoided that conversations for so long, but every time we'd go somewhere, I would see my children. Now even it trickled down to the other kids that they're starting feeling. It's only the last born. So the two boys were acting, they don't want them. They feel like they're starting, I would say they're starting to get afraid. And you see now they're getting afraid not because of something that has happened to them, but because of me, right? So I gave in. But my terms was, it's not a black cat or brown. Get me a white cat. And I knew it will take forever to get a white cat, or so I thought. So fast forward, we got a cat. My kids were even excited, and they called my mom. And when they were having a conversation with my mom, they was like, Shosho, you know we have a cat. And my mom refused. She has never rejected something like that statement. It's not possible. She said it's from her words, it cannot be possible. Mamako akiwa wapi? Like, yeah, iko hapa. She has to ask me after they've had their conversation, like, is it true? I told her, yeah. My dad, the same. They were shocked. My brother, my cousins, they're all surprised. And the only thing I tell them is never say never. Some things I'm giving in because of my children. So yeah, sometimes I just look at myself, I look at the cat, and I wonder what is going on, right? We got a kitten. They were so gracious to allow a kitten so that I get used to it. It's now like 3 months, and I have still not adjusted. But yeah, never say never. If you never say never under the sun, never say never. That is that is what has been ringing in my mind. Like, never say never. Never say you'll never go to America. Never say that you can never go to abroad. Never say you will not do something, or some kind of jobs are not for you. Yes, we strive. Some of these things, yes, we strive not to get ourselves there, but never say never. In fact, as a wife, I might say never will I ever cheat on my husband. But you know what? With the help of God, because there's some situations that you just need the hand of God, right? Never say never, that you'll never bribe someone. It will take the hand of God. So yeah, that has been what's on my mind. Never say never. All right, I'm telling you, this one will be a very short one. So the third one is, does I'm really trying to see how I'll figure it. But case in point, let me just give a story. You know me with stories. So just recently I was having a conversation. I had gone to see my friend, an old classmate. She had there was something happening at KICC and she was having a vendor she was showcasing her products. So we were having that conversation. A friend of hers came and we were talking, and she was telling me how one of our mutual friend was telling her she needs to go out or go out more. She needs to interact with people. She needs to have this event. She goes to these events so that she at least gets people, interact with other suitable men, because she's single. And even with her friend who had joined us, they were talking about how people who are single they don't have life. They're not enjoying, they are not, they don't have life. They don't know what they are missing out. That's the thing. They don't know what they are missing out. And I from that conversation, sir, because there were two single ladies and I'm married, so I was I did not know what to contribute. So I just let them speak, because from their lens, they feel it's true that married people, they have things all figured out. They're having the best time of their life, and it got me thinking. From that, I've been thinking, does it really mean getting married or walking down the aisle and now you've been called husband and wife? Does it really mean that you're enjoying your marriage, or you're having it easier than a single person? Yeah. Because I think not. And even just saying that you, in the papers or on the certificate, you've signed that, yeah, I, na na na, and person X, na na na, are married, doesn't mean it's easy, right? We've heard and we've seen that sometimes even people who are single are having the best time of their life compared to married people, because maybe a woman is really crying in that marriage. She has experienced the worst of worst, if there's a word like that. A man is not happy in his marriage because maybe, and please remember, I'm not condoning some of these things, but they happen. Like a man is in this union, but his wife has been cheating on him, or vice versa. The husband has been cheating on this wife, but outside they're all smiling and all acting like everything is all good and rosy, but behind the scenes things are bad, right? So it just got me thinking, like, do single people think that all married people are happy? And do we married people look from our lenses, see single people are unhappy? Do it make sense? And also, there's also this thing of that certificate. Does it mean that now that you have that certificate that things are okay? Like now I need to look down on someone who's not yet walked down the aisle. Like personally, as we've not walked down the aisle, but I love, you can't tell me anything else other than I know before God we are man and wife, right? So does it mean, even from my lens, from in this thing that we, is there a what is there something that will identify that those who are with a certificate are more married or more happy than somebody who is staying, who are doing come we stay? I don't think so. So that's what I've been thinking about. On what lens am I seeing a single a person and somebody who's really officiated their marriage and ours? Yeah, I hope it makes sense. But I've come to realize everybody is happy in their season. As long as I'm happy in my season, that's what counts. As long as you're happy in your singlehood, please enjoy it and make the best of it, right? And yeah, that's it. So the other one is, no, I'll do the last one. The other one is, so how I've written, how free are my kids around me, and what's the gauge or the meter that I should allow my kids to be free with me. Case in point, recently, just when they just closed school and we were having dinner, and I was on my phone and they were just, I think we were just done having dinner, so I was on my phone and them, they were playing on their gadgets. So my second born, my second son, he said he started having this conversation with his brother in my presence, and this is how it went. Marcel, najua girlfriend yako ni nani? And then my firstborn is like, nani? Mi sina girlfriend, and he now back, mi namjua, and he's anaitwa Galwai. So me, I'm just, that weird look, like, what conversations are these between a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old? And like, mi namjua anaitwa nani? So my firstborn like, no, mi si girlfriend yangu, si mjui, si girlfriend yangu, mi najua boyfriend yake. So my second boy started nagging, and eventually he said, me, boy, why? So I was just looking at them, and they looked at me, and it's like, my firstborn was like, mama, ambia nani Galwai si girlfriend yangu. So I just looked at them, ile, hey, this is too young to start even thinking about girlfriends. But still, I thought of it like, it's good that they're talking about some of these things in front of me, meaning they're comfortable talking about it in my presence. So I appreciate that, because so many times, even there's a time they had a very weird conversations with their father. I call them weird because they are not of their age. It's not, if you'd ask me, I would say it's not, hawajafika hiyo miaka. right? So I appreciate that they could talk some of these things when I'm around. But now what is on my mind is, how do we as their parents train them and teach them and talk to them and guide them? Because these Gen Alphas, they are growing really quick, they are growing fast. They are the things that I thought that I learned when I was in class 8, they're learning them now. Something like boyfriend and girlfriend, right? It was never in my mind. Maybe in class 6. This one is in grade 2, you know? So things that are the thing that is on my mind right now is thinking, how do we hold their hand and guide them as parents, right? Guide them in, so yeah, it's not good to have a girlfriend right now, or it's okay to have a girlfriend, but so many things. Yeah, so that's it. That's in my mind. That's what I'm trying to understand, how I will guide my children. I don't want to be the kind of parent that they cannot be comfortable speaking about it, because even when they are in their adolescent or in their teenage lives, they might avoid talking to us, right? And they might keep it all inside, and I don't want that. I want us to be friends. And I don't mean friends like how I can baby them, si ati nataka kuwabembeleza, but friends in that way that if they have a problem, if they have an issue, they can come to us and we'll have wisdom on how to guide them. So that is what is in my mind right now. That's what I'm thinking about. Because if they're talking about girlfriends right now, I need to equip myself on how to guide them on this journey, in every season and in every conversation they make, right? We've had, truth to be told, we have had such conversations. We've talked about other conversations that really might be hard for other people. We've had them. So yeah, those are the things. That is one thing that was in my mind. Okay. Things on my mind is, second one is, I've written not seeing the cute little joys. This year, but the better part of this year, I have been a stay-at-home mom. I have been, but this time I was a stay-at-home mom without help, and it has been quite something. In this sense, I was the homemaker. Being a stay-at-home mom means you're a nurse, you're a teacher, you're a homemaker, you're the cook, you're the chef, you're the laundry lady, you're the cleaning lady, you're everything, right? You are a wife, you're a friend to your partner. So it got to a point I was getting overstimulated and angry and exhausted, that even with time schedules, I was not staying. I knew I was getting excited for bedtime for my kids. I complained a lot during this season. Before we got a nanny, I was complaining a lot, saying they're always quarreling, they're always fighting, they're always wanasumbua, But one day I just sat down and I was like, why am I not seeing these little joys, these little nuggets of joy, like when my daughter just comes and just out of nowhere just hugs me and says, "Mommy, I love you." She has this beautiful way of saying, "Mommy, I love you so much." And I'm like, "Oh, I love you too." And she gives me a million kisses. But before, because I'm too tired, I feel like she's nagging, right? My sons, even when he's, let me say, I've gone to the supermarket and he calls me and he just wants to tell me that his tablet or his game is not working, and I'm just like, "I'm coming." And he's like, "Okay, mommy, thank you." Then before he hangs up, he says, "I love you." You see, before it felt like a nag, but now I've come to realize those are the little joys, sometimes I will not even, sometimes I would think my kids are just, I don't know, they're just not hearing what I'm telling them is not getting through them. But when we're outside, we're in church or somewhere, you hear people say, "Oh, you have such good kids. They're so respectable, they're respectful, they're confident." Mostly I get that from my second born. He's very confident, he speaks his mind, and you're doing a good job. So those things, I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's nice, that's thoughtful," yeah. So things on my mind right now, I'm consciously appreciating the little things, the little hugs, the little, you serve your husband or you serve your partner and he says thank you, or at least mine does. He says thank you for giving him, for serving him, or "Please, can I have a glass of water?" Those things, I'm getting to actively appreciate those little joys, right? Getting back to the groove of just appreciating and being thankful for the little things and not just the big things. Even just having a nanny for a week is something to be very grateful. Yeah. Oh, the thing that's on my mind recently, that has been on my mind recently, is in our family, we express love. We say "I love you." We express love. Even I express love towards my partner, and my partner the same, before my kids. So even our kids have learned that even our kids, you just see, they wake up in the morning, the sister tells the brothers, or the brother tell their brother, they tell each other, "Good morning, I love you." Still, I love you. And I had someone having that conversation. I was amongst them, but I was not with them. They're saying how it's so shameful for a man to express love, or to express their before their kids love, right? You don't, they don't need to you need to be, you need to show them the manly side, if there's such a word. It's fake. You don't need, you need to be for a real man, you just need to be the man. You don't need to show that lovey-dovey, that emotion side, that sweet good guy side. You need to be that macho man. And I was so shocked that at time, in this time and age, somebody would speak like that. Why? Because I personally and I'm not embarrassing my family, is I never saw love. I never saw my parents showing love to each other. I did not. It was rare, and if it was once in a very long time. And personally, I love love, and so when we got together, I knew I would express it, and we had an agreement that we will express our loves in front of our kids. Why do I say this? At least they need to know what love is. They need to know, for a man, in fact for us, our boys, they need to know that they do not need, it's not shameful to tell your woman I love you. It's not shameful for a man to tell his son, I love you. In fact, I know boys would really love for their dads to tell them, I love you, right? It's also good for them to know that narrative that was there before, that if a man beats the wife, that's how enyewe amenipenda, because he's taken time to correct me. That's not love. Violence is not love. It's violence. Being beaten is violence, It's not that he's taken time to correct you. It's not that he's correcting you because of love. No. There are so many other ways that you can correct, right? It's also good for a man to know that you can express love to your wife, and your children will not get to hear that, oh, your dad has another family, or your dad has been cheating on me. Like, a man can be faithful to one wife, right? Because out here, men are also being very confident, saying, I have three wives, or let's not say wives, I have a wife and 3 baby mamas, or I'm sleeping around, and we've come to entertain it so much. Even women, like you're a married woman, and now you have a thing with someone else outside your marriage. That's shameful. It doesn't mean that you're the it guy. In fact, it's very shameful. And so what has been in my mind is, I hope my kids get to see what love is. I hope they get to see that their dad telling me is not shameful. Okay? I hope they get to see when we cuddle them and kiss them and tell them we love you with all our heart, that they know it's genuine, that we really do love them. And even when they get to that age, I know they'll get to that age and they'll be like, oh, Mommy, you're so embarrassing, or oh, they still know, they'll still remember. They'll even have an idea, if not the best, at least an idea of when they go and now even get partners, what they can expect, yeah. So the final one, tube litigation. I know, but it's on my mind. And I think this year has really been on my mind, Sana, because I just, personally, if you ask me and my partner, I feel 3 is a good number for children. We are okay with 3 children. So recently I've just been thinking about, and when I say thinking, I've even done research on tying my tubes, like being a permanent thing to to avoid conceiving. So yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been doing so much research. I've seen so many pros and cons. Others are say it can backfire on you. It can give you weird things going on with your body. Your hormones might change. Is it your estrogen? Your hormones might increase or decrease depending. What else? I've had people say it's better to completely remove your uterus. So I'm thinking about it. But so with the recent thing that happened, that a lady did a cosmetic surgery and she lost her life. Mr. Man has thrown all cards out. Anything to do with surgery is an ex. No, he's just like, no. I'm just here wondering, well, just think about it. It's like, no. So yeah, so we put a pause on it, but it's still on my mind. It's still very active, fresh and active and in my mind. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's something that's on my mind. Yeah, I also got afraid a bit because of now that incident. But we'll see. Will I tell you if on what we've settled on? Probably not. Maybe maybe I can say yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Malcolm, if you're an OG, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if I'll say. But what I know for sure is right now 3 is a good number. That's all I can say. 3 is a good number for us. We are okay with that number and we're grateful. But mipango za Mungu ni tofauti. So that's all. But for us, as Mr. and Mrs., 3 is a good number. So those are the things that are on my mind right now. I don't know what's at the end of this year, what has been on your mind other than getting money, buying that land, just general. What is in your mind? What have you been thinking about? Yeah, I hope to get to those comments. I hope to get those interactions. Yeah, and let's make our world a better place for our kids, right? Yeah. So thank you so much. I told you this will be a short video. Yeah, those are just my points and they are my opinions. I wish I would start by saying these are my opinions. They might ruffle some feathers, they might not sit well with others. It's not my intention to come at anyone. These are my opinions and my ideas. Yeah, so thank you. I hope to see you on the next episode. Remember, Jesus loves you. You are favored. You're God's favorite. Bye.